Hello, this is Travis from the Photoverse Project. Normally I would not do a video like this, since I tend to upload this kind of news to my Discord server on FB, and I typically like to retweet this stuff on Twitter, but, well, it's special because what we have here is the last SMP we're gonna get for Koga 5. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to have to cough a bit since, well, my throat is starting to get itchy. Anyway, let's dive into the details of our latest SMP venture. So, first up, Red Mars 1. Okay, so for those who don't know, SMP is basically Bandai recreating many of the original DX in candy toy form. Essentially, it's a spin-off. Well, it started off as a spin-off to the mini plotline before it started doing its own thing as the Shokugan Modeling Project, which was referred to as such since the Gal Ranger SMPs were released in 2022. Going back to Red Mars 1, you could kind of see that DNA right in front of you. This feels like the original DX toy, in the modern day, just smaller and with, of course, modern articulation and such. And yeah, it looks pretty neat for what it's worth. Here's a back shot, and yeah. I know these are CG renders, but these are still pretty neat for what it's worth. Next up, Blue Mars 2. A pretty neat space fighter for its worth. And, well, you could really tell this is the arms. Come look at the back. Yeah, the fists are really chilling out there. Still, I appreciate the look of this. The look of this thing a bit. Next up, Green Mars 3. It has the same problem as the original DX, where you can really tell this thing is a giant waste. Well, not literally, but rather it forms the waste unit. And so, and as a result, the component, as a result, its spaceship mode is heavily compromised. Because, well, okay, if you don't know how Victory Mars combines, essentially, how Green Mars 3 combines with Red Mars 1 is that it basically, the cockpit dives into the main cavity inside one's torso. Come look at the back, and ironically, it's more convincing as a space shuttle or a spaceship than the original DX was because you have peg holes masquerading as actual thrusters. It's still the weakest out of the 5 Mars vehicles, though. And now we go on to the last 2. Yellow Mars 4. If it has the dump truck vibe of the original Go-Go, I believe it was Go-Go Vehicle 4. But yeah, 4 and 5 are actually pretty similar, since they pretty much form, because much like their Go-Go vehicle counterparts, they basically form the legs. Oh, and this is also applicable to Grand Liner as well. Looking at the back. Oh. Oh, what do you look at that? Okay, so something you have to keep in mind when talking about SMPs. These, don't expect them to have like chrome or any kind of paint, since for most of them they are very reliant on stickers. To be fair, you're dealing with candy toys. And yeah, Pink Mars 5 is similar. Okay, I think we need some context for some of the newer fans around here. Prior to Kyoryuger, sorry, prior to Kyoryuger, most pink mechas tend to be white with pink accents on them. Heck, that sort of thing made its comeback recently in Kira Major with Machine Helico. Yeah, this is right during that particular phase. It's not much different on the back. And yeah, it is able to store in the liner vehicles, much like their Go-Go vehicle counterparts did. So here they are in full detail, as per usual. And then we get to the and here is the top jet right over here. And well, this is the kind of sequence you probably wouldn't expect to see. Max Shuttle with the other liner vehicles, along with the Mars vehicles about to be deployed. And then oh, would you look at that? They're actually recreating the entire sequence. I don't know why, it's just funny to me. And then we go to... Well, before we get to the main event, we're going to discuss Beetle Mars. And it's exactly what you think it is. It's the Megazord doing a crab walk. Most Shockwave alt modes tend to have this kind of problem, admittedly. Though, however, this one actually had the excuse of, well, actually, come to think of it, I'm not even sure if it has an excuse, but rather, well, it's just a very nifty third mode if you're so inclined. And now we go on to the main event. Oh, before we do, it does retain most of the original DX Toys functions, such as the claws for Beetle Mars. And here's something Sentai if I managed to point out: the bombs from the debut episode. It just makes me wish I watched Go-Go 5 already, since, well, I wouldn't have this kind of context anyway. And now we get on to the main event, which, yep, they are straight up recreating the whole sequence. And here we are, Victory Mars in all of its glory. This looks so good. I've been I've been wondering about Victory Mars for quite some time now. Ever since I was not able to get any of the Go-Go 5 SMPs, be it Victory Robo, Grand Liner, or Liner Boy. And then we have Victory Mars. It's a shame since I I feel like SMP is basically the best way many people could experience the original XMPs without having to track them down on the aftermarket. I mean, yeah, these are peep and die, but I don't really care in this instance. It's just so cool. And then we have a lot more. here's the here's Victory Mars as it was. Well, it's posed in such a way that it's basically resembling the original DX. And here is Victory Mars in a standard pose. Oh, and here's a nifty little. Here's the nifty part. It actually recreates the DX's transformation with a bunch of hinges and what have you. That's actually pretty cool. I won't lie. That's actually, admittedly, that is the coolest part of Mars's transformation. How the head transforms via those hinges. Oh, and Sentai 5 pointed out, well, we're going to have to change a bit. And here we are. So, as Sentai 5 pointed out, the pre-orders are going to start, well, funnily enough, from where my time is, it's going to start tomorrow. But, and we're going to have a, now going back to the, what you're seeing there is the Top Jet gimmick from the original DX. And here's the fun part. It's actually spring-loaded. I'm not... Yeah. It's going to be weird, but hey, you never know. Not sure how that works, but you never know. And here is the Victory Prominence. This is from episode 39 of Go-Go 5. A bit tangential, but it's actually pretty cool. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Another pose. And here are the 5 Mars vehicles, the Top Jet, and the blade for the Victory Prominence. Ah, these look so good. But that's not all. That's not all. And, well, we'll get to that later. Here we have the complete lineup. You have the Shoto Super Go-Go 5, the 4 other SMPs that were released, Victory Robo, Liner Boy, and Grand Liner, along with Victory Mars. And yeah, these look extremely good next to each other. And this is the kind of display I wish I had. But that's not all. Oh no, that's not all. Once we reach the end... Oh boy. Oh boy. Waiting. And here we go! Now this is what I was looking for. The confirmation for not just Bultaros, but also the conversion parts for the Lights of Ginga. Which means, yes, you can finally convert this you can finally convert Gingayo, both the SMP Gingayo and Victory Mars, into Chosoku Gingayo and Chosoku Victory Mars, respectively. This was something I was wondering when Gingayo was originally announced. Where was the light of Ginga in all this? Now that we have the confirmation, we can finally put this to rest. So, so, it's finally done. It's finally done. I never thought we would be getting a Victory Mars this soon. Especially considering, well, Gingayo ended up being announced not long after, and, well, you know where this is going. And that just made me wonder, what's next for SMP? Well, I've actually pointed it out in a YouTube community post, but yeah, I expected Mega Ranger to complete its lineup. Specifically, I wanted a Mega Voyager and a Mega Winger to round out the Mega Ranger lineup. As for other SMPs I want to see sometime in the future, how about well, let's complete Gingaman first with Gigabytus, Giga Phoenix, and Giga Taurus. Just around that lineup. What about the wholly new stuff? Ones that SMP had not tackled previously. Brace yourselves. Well, the one I wanted to see the most was O-Ranger, since O-Ranger Robo happens to be the one Sentai mech that's pretty much easy to translate as a SMP. And probably after that, Maji Ranger, I suppose, because, well, in case you haven't caught on to by now, my holy grail is the DX Saint Kaiser. And I wanted an entire Mega Ranger line. I wanted an entire Maji Ranger line specifically for that mecha. And, well, now that GoGo 5 is complete, who knows what's next for SMP. And thank you for listening to my inane ramblings on an SMP I probably would never get sometime in the future. And until next time, whenever I get around to that King Odor script, or possibly that Mandalorian Beskar armor script, I will see you maybe sometime in the future. I don't know. Farewell. And this is Travis from the Photoverse Project. Goodbye.